Getting started in the deep desert of Dune Awakening can be overwhelming. Today I'm going to show you a pretty easy solo PvE starter base to get you going in the deep desert and work out all of the logistical struggles for you with plenty of room for future expansion. The requirements are on screen now. Remember, the deep desert halves all costs, so this build will cost double in Hangar Basin. I built this in map square B5, but you can put this pretty much anywhere in the PvE area. So let's go. So we're going to build this in two stages, the architecture first and the utility second. You can do this all together in a single assault orni, but for the video this should make things easier to digest. Start off by using the foundation trick to raise an advanced subfief 2 foundations off the ground. You can find salvaged metal easily around the deep desert, so get it on site rather than bringing it from Hangar Basin. From there, build a 7x9 ring of foundations, then fill the centre with Atreides floor pieces to save on the plastone cost. Next, place large Atreides gates in the corners as shown. This will make the outside of the build look good with minimal effort. Fill in the gaps between the gates with walls or windows of your choice. I like to use window 2s on the ground floor. Leave the gap for the Pentashield 2 as shown on the blueprint. Between the gate doorways you can also place windows or walls as shown to seal up the base whilst also making them look quite nice. On the long side of the build, place ramps to meet the ground for buggy access. This part will depend highly upon where you build, so you can swap it around in different places or construct it slightly differently if need be. I also built a bank of fuel generators just for the time being. Place stairs on the back side running up to a central tile and then cap off the ground floor on the second tile with floors. Next, the hangar. Add a single set of stairs in the back, and then fill the gaps between the Atreides gates, again with whatever walls or windows you prefer. I like window 3s mixed with wall 3s and window 4s at the top. Build the walls in the hangar 3 tiles high to match the gates. Raise the stairs at the back to meet the walls, and then build a 4 tile wide strip of ceilings atop those walls, leaving a gap for the staircase and a gap into the hangar. Now the Pentashield. Pentashield placement on gates currently seems to be bugged, so as of the time of recording you have to do the following. Remove the gates, place a vertical strip of walls in the corners, and then draw the Pentashield between the roof ceiling and the walls. Build it and then remove the corner walls and put the gates back as you had before. You may not need to do this if it's fixed by the time you watch this video, but if you can't place the Pentashield on the gate edges, this is the workaround. Over the gap for the roof stairs, build a small 3x1 block to encase the stairs and make the roof exit sandstorm safe. I also topped this off with a small roof, but you can place just flat roof pieces if you prefer. Lastly, ring the roof platform with railings to finish stage 1. Now for stage 2, utility. This base is set up mostly for farming Plastanium, one of the most important things you can do when you're first starting in the deep desert. To that end, we are building these utility pieces, which requires these resources. In terms of upkeep, the large wind traps will consume 4 particulate filters per day, and each wind turbine will require 96 low-grade lubricant per day. Any regular fuel generator will also require 24 fuel cells per day. Scale those calculations across however many days you're planning on staying in the deep desert. Now to get the utility down. Firstly, build some storage and then transfer all your items in your Thopter over to the box so you can build freely from the construction tool. Next, power. I like to place my turbines on top of the overhanging elements of the gate. They fit quite well and it looks a bit unique, though you can just throw them on the roof if you prefer, there is more than enough room. When the turbines are placed, make sure you power them up. Next, wind traps. Throw them down on the flat roof, there is plenty of space. Next, water storage. Place down your cisterns wherever feels comfortable, and then your medium chemical refinery and your medium ore refinery. Lastly, if you built a bank of power generators like I did, which I needed to power the pentashields, you can trim down your selection of generators. In this case, I removed 4 of them to cut costs and remove unnecessary power headroom, and if you do need more power in the future, you can always add more generators or turbines. And now we are ready for our week in the deep desert. This base generates 241k water per day, with storage room for 450k in the cisterns, so we can easily go and farm and refine stravidium into fibre, farm titanium ore and craft plastanium. Furthermore, this base has plenty of space for expansion in the future without any real alteration to the core design, though there is room for that too. The base can accommodate a large ore refinery, more water infrastructure, death stills, likely even a large spice refinery too if you want to dedicate yourself to the precious melange. Finally, when the week comes to an end and it's time to pack up your build, everything you brought in fits comfortably right back inside your Assault Ornithopter, ready to be taken back to Hangar and right back into the desert after reset. And there we have it, a solo PvE starter base in the deep desert. Thank you for watching. This is a slightly more advanced version of my first deep desert base. The endgame as a solo is grindy to say the least, so hopefully this guide helps to remove some of the logistical work and get you off on the right foot as a solo PvE player in the deep desert. If you enjoy my content and want to get it early, alongside video credits, build blueprints and more, check out my Patreon where you can support the channel directly and indulge in those perks, link in the description. On that note, a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Thank you again for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.